Hello, friends, and welcome to another exciting episode of Edgecast. So, from here on, we'll call it Edgecast alone because Entrepreneurial Edgecast is kind of, it's disturbing to some people as per some of your comments. So, we'll just speak it off as Edgecast. So, basically, guys, some of the questions that you have asked me on a personal platform and you have DM'd me that was, how do we choose the right marketing agency, or what do we do to actually make sure that the agency is actually giving us value and we are able to get the best out of it. So one of the things which is very quite common is how to choose an agency and what to get from them, or how do we select the right agency, and when do we go for an agency and when do we go for an inbound in-house team. So guys, one of the things which I have actually kind of found out after running almost 12 startups is that why should we go for an agency, when we should go for an agency, and what actually calls for how do I select the right agency. So after running about 5 marketing agencies, I can assure you one thing, that it's not that a startup alone should go for an agency, or mid-sized company should go for a different agency, but it basically focuses on what is the kind of expectation that you have for your business. So imagine if I'm a startup, I would rather go for an agency because then I don't have to have every expertise in house itself. So that is also when I am going with a smaller team or smaller budget size. And so what should I expect from the agency? Okay, so as I said before, if we don't have the expertise in house and we have a smaller budget for whatever campaign or whatever thing we are running for, I would ideally suggest an agency which can get the results at a lower size or at a lower budget. Okay, but then yes, before you start with the agency, the first thing that I would want you all to collect from the agency is a brand manual with a lot more than what is currently being thought of a brand manual. So what I mean by that is, so when I ask for a brand manual, or when I have given a brand manual, the first thing the person thinks of is that the logo size should be this much, these are the colors that we should go across with, or this is how I should actually be marketing it. But that is not the brand manual, guys. What is the brand manual? Is that it's got to go a lot more deeper than just defining the colors, defining the sizes of the logo, where the logo should be placed, and what should be the tone of the messaging, where should you be messaging, and what time. It has also got to do with what kind of targeting you are doing. So yes, when I say targeting, it always says that we have a target audience for our product or our services, and it's always supposed to be very specific, and it's got to be very specific to the point where when is the person, or when is our target coming online, and when are they going to be most likely to click or convert for us. So brand manual has to have all of these details, and yes, it also has to have on what is the kind of activity which actually will translate, and what is the funnel, how do you define the funnel, what should be the part of the tofu funnel, the bofu funnel, or the mofu funnel. So all of these things are supposed to be in a brand manual, which is not there in most, which is not asked of. I mean, you can think of the last time you have asked for a marketing agency to submit the proposal. You will not find any of these details present in the presentation, or present in the kind of activity that they have shared across, and you have also not asked. But this is something that is most important, because if you look at any of the companies or any of the current industries or domains, you will find that all of them are diluting, and all of them are actually suffering from because of marketing, because of this simple aspect. Because someone somewhere has done this mistake, they have gone across and in a bid to actually kind of get better results, or trying to improve the brand, they have actually ended up diluting the brand. And they have diluted because they have missed the aspects, or they just try to experiment with the brand, and the brand value now is diluted, or the brand manual brand has actually got negative feedback, or is being followed by people who are not the target audience. So what happens when that happens is that whenever you run a paid campaign, or you're actually running any kind of activity, you would also have people who are following you, but who are not necessarily your target audience, who would like or dislike the campaign. And this actually affects your budgeting. It also affects your brand, and it actually brings a kind of negative effect to your brand as well. So now, when should you not be going for agency, is when you're growing and your budgets are good, and you're actually trying to get that kind of feedback, or you're actually trying to reach larger audiences. So imagine that today you are localized in one particular state or two particular states, and you are trying to go all India wise, all country wise. Then you should have an in-house agency, in-house people only. Why? Because an agency, yes, can kind of give you the bigger reach with the audience, but it can also affect, because an in-house team will focus on your localized marketing, your localized targeting, whereas an agency would not want to do that, because they would want to cut down their budgets, and they would give you at a lower budget. But in-house team can give you the focused targeting and can get you the followers and get you the relevant leads, rather than just mass targeting and get you at a lower cost, but the results will be quite diluted, and it will also bring a dilution of your brand, also a dilution of your target audience, and you might not actually be able to recover from that. So I mean, I have seen a lot of companies who have actually come back to us, and they my agencies, and they have actually told us, Krishna, why are we not getting quicker results? And my first thing is, sir, your current followers is this, and because of this dilution, if we have to clear, and they say just remove the followers, but it's not that simple. Now that you have these followers, you can't just imagine that it's removing the followers is almost like asking people who have come to your house for a certain party to leave. I mean, it doesn't just sound out rude, but it also kind of gives a bad name to your brand, and can also suffer because of negative feedback as well. So in those cases, I would rather suggest that we go in a very systematic way, and we start pulling more target audience people onto our brand or onto our brand platforms, building a community around that, so that within the community, whatever branding or marketing activities we do, we'll get a much better results, and we can then focus on getting the results from that community alone, and which can actually reduce the cost, which can improve the ROI, and which can also bring about the kind of results for us. So whenever I have actually taken up jobs as an agency, I always tell the company that I am working for that I will create a community for them, because I might spend more time on the community, but the results will be long lasting, and will also give that kind of flow about with the for the company. Even if they tomorrow decide to go with an in-house team, where the in-house team can take up those activities that the team was doing for the community building earlier, and that can actually give them the results, and that can actually translate into business very quickly. So guys, having said that, I also will like to put out as a pointer that while a lot of companies still don't trust SEO, or they think SEO takes a lot of time, it's because of the fact that SEO does not take time, guys. You have to understand that SEO is taking time because of the fact that your distribution cycle is beaten. So what I mean by distribution cycle is a content distribution cycle. So I mean, companies are more focused on creating a lot more content, and they hire more people just to create more content. But rather than creating more content, it's got to do more with the distribution cycle, and your distribution has to be targeted on the platform that you want your audience to come, or your target people to come and look at your content. Once you do that, and once you can get that translation, I assure you that your SEO will pick up, and it will pick up very quickly, because then it goes into the fact of in the factor of getting the kind of leads from different places where who are relevant to your audience or relevant to your activities. Okay. And so what I mean by that is you are not just getting backlinks, but you're also getting backlinks which are relevant to your business and who are relevant to your domain. So because of which, what happens is you always get better results, and you get better ROI from your activities or your branding work. And having said that, I also ensure that whenever we are doing this activity, or having run a marketing agency and IT company, I assure you that when you are looking at a branding or a marketing campaign, I've seen a lot of companies, a lot of brands also tell me that Krishna, we market for the masses, but you don't market for the masses, guys. You have to understand that even if you look at a very regular thing like rice, or you can speak of vegetables, you market to the people who are actually cooking, or who are actually doing something with it. Because the ones who are, it's not just common people who will eat it, but it is more about the people who are going to serve them. because if you just target the people who eat, you might generate the kind of curiosity in the minds of the people who cook, but it is essentially the people who cook who decide what goes on the table. So you can say that you're marketing for the masses, but you should not. Ideally, you should be very focused on your target audience, because that target audience will define how your marketing strategy will pan out. Or if your marketing campaign is not doing well, first I will always say go back to your target audience. You go back to your research that you have actually presented as what should be your target audience and what should be in your brand manuals. Believe me, guys, whenever I look at any brand, the first thing I look is what is the manual sharing. And you can have bounce rate, or in the next episode, we missed that part earlier. So in the next episode, guys, I will be talking about how as entrepreneur you can go back to your business and how you can know exactly what is the problem with your brand by looking at certain analytics or certain part of the reports that is shared across from the branding agency or from your in-house teams. So what should you be asking for to decide whether you should continue with your in-house team or you go with an agency. So that we'll be discussing in the next episode, and I hope you have a great day. Do not forget to subscribe. Thank you.